Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 1. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back, y'all. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we're gonna get into it, because the new season has started, okay? And I'm feeling the chemistry. The chemistry is giving what the chemistry should give. So when the episode first opens up, it opens up with Kenya at dance practice for Dancing with the Stars. Child, Kenya's feet was ashy. Child, they gonna say, bye, ashy. When I tell y'all, I hollered at that. Kenya, you gonna need to keep you some Jergens on deck, girl. This don't make no sense. You got too much money for your feet to still be ashy, and you've been on here since season 5. Now that's just unacceptable. Immediately no. So Kenya flirting per usual. Y'all know how she like to do, child. She see a handsome man and she gonna say it, honey. She don't care if he the waiter, the bartender. She don't care what he is, okay? She gonna make sure that she get her flirt on. I know that's right, honey. Kenya said, I'm single. Living single, child. But I was just thinking to myself, not them using Peach Juice voice with the bye ashy. Baby, these producers gonna be shady boots. And you know they went over there and got the producers from the Real Housewives of Potomac. They gave us that great season, last season that they had. So I am sure that Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to deliver. Fingers crossed, honey, because this might not age well. So then Candy shows up. Then Marlo shows up in this Monty wig. I was like, girl, what is this wig? But then I realized she was trying to be Rizzo from Grease, because Kenya had dressed up as her when she was on Dancing with the Stars. So then it made sense, because I was like, child, what is happening, honey? Marlo is a peach holder. Do you hear me? Do y'all know Marlo went from talking in gibberish to charade in Africa to being a peach holder? Child, it shows you what a little perseverance will do for you, okay? But let's see how long it's gonna last with Marlo and Kenya being friends, because y'all know how she like to do, child. Y'all know they like to get together, fuss, tear each other down, and then get right back together. It's all in the name of housewives. It's kind of like Giselle and the Grand Dame. I mean, it's a frenemy thing. They like each other, but then at the same time, they're gonna take digs at each other. Child, it's all good. So they start talking because the guy is exiting stage left, and they start talking about how cute he is and all this other kind of stuff. And so Marlo starts talking about her edges. So Kenya was like, oh, how are your edges? Now, when she first said it, I was hollering because I thought she was shading her, but then I forgot that Kenya had gotten a hair transplant. So I guess she went to the same person that Drew went to and got her edges intact and whatnot, child. Don't Big Booty Judy live down in Atlanta? You could have just went over there and got you some kaleidoscope. Oh, it ain't working? Oh, okay. So, child, then we watch her talk about her edges and whatnot. But the thing is, that edges package, when they put that package together showing Marlo's edges and how they were eating her alive, I hollered. Side note, Candy, what is this Louis Vuitton outfit you're wearing? Let me just say this. That's not my style. I personally wouldn't wear it. I feel like everything with the name brand, that don't mean it's cute. Because it was giving, child, city trends, it's fashion for less. Even though I know it probably will eat my whole closet up. That's just a side note. Child, that's just a side note, honey. I did not like that outfit on you, Candy. I ain't like it. So they sit down, they start talking about Kenya's dance partner. Kenya was talking like she had a crush, honey. And Candy was like, why you sounding like you got a crush on him, honey? Because she probably do. And they're talking, and nobody knows what Marlo does for a living. So Marlo makes this comment because Kenya switches it to her. And she's like, hey, I just want to know about the guys that you're dating. And she's like, well, I'll be talking on the phone and whatnot, honey, but I'm not in love. And she was like, really? She said, no, because I don't even know what they do for a living. So Candy goes, well, we don't even know what you do for a living. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know that Candy has been trying to figure out how Marlo gets her money since she invited her to Candy Coated Nights when Marlo was dating that football player. I cannot remember his name, but y'all know Candy is on the case. She wants to know, Marlo, how you getting your money? Child, nobody knows what Marlo does for a living. Marlo is giving Tommy Strong. Shout out to Martin. You ain't got no job, man. Marlo is doing what Marlo needs to do to get the coins. Y'all hear me? So she tells them that they need to come to the La Archive. Okay, so she rents to shows and movies, and she's saying that we're going to see it in the credits. And I actually do like that. I like that idea. Marlo is like, well, I dated a billionaire. Like, I have investments. I have properties. He go, Candy, girl, that was decades ago. This is what she's saying in her confessional. Candy, baby, Candy is coming with the shade right out the gate. Because people were saying that Candy was phoning in her performance for the last few seasons. So Candy said, I'm going to show y'all, honey. I'm going to show y'all what I'm working with. So Kenya said, money don't last forever. So they tag teaming Marlo. But it was all in fun. The thing I liked about this scene is that although they were all shading each other, it was still lighthearted. It was nothing for us to get to fussing about. Well, why she say that? Well, why she say that? It was just light. Now, you know how these heifers get to doing once the season progresses. But for right now, it's feeling organic. Let's continue. Moving forward. So they all talking about that and whatnot. And Kenya was like, nothing lasts forever. Money don't last forever. So then all of a sudden, child, we hear all of Sheree's infamous lines throughout the years. Who gonna check me, boo? Then we see She by Sheree and she's sashaying through. But cameraman, please pan up from Sheree's camel toe. I was like, what is happening, child? If y'all don't show the full body, that is Sheree. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Sheree, first of all, Sheree gonna wear her casual joggers, okay? Because she ain't gonna do nothing else. Baby, she loves to be casual. Sheree said I was on my way to Target, but y'all called me and told me to show up, so here I am. I know that's right. And y'all know Sheree gonna come in. Baby, she love to come in bouncing upon her return. Sheree can literally leave every other season, come back, bounce right on up in there and get right into the mess. And also, Sheree has awesome skin. She is 50 years old. I was looking at Sheree. I said, girl, you look better than you did season 1. When I tell you that lady got some awesome skin, she needs to start a skincare line. Walking around with this September, spring, summer joggers. Honey, can we get a skincare routine? Honey, at least point me to the direction of your doctor. Something. So she comes on in and she sit down and she get into it. And Kenya started asking her about Tyrone. And so Sheree was like, well, he's out. So they was like, what? But you know what? All I could think of when Sheree was saying that he was out is he's a con artist. Y'all remember when they went to San Francisco and they broke up into groups and Nene was trying to say what she had to say about Tyrone, always shading somebody, and they were like, well, what's wrong with Tyrone? He's the con artist. Child, I ain't gonna never forget that. That's all I could think about when she was talking. So Kenya was like, so how's the sex? Because Kenya gonna ask about the bedroom, child. And Sheree said, short, break me off, show me what you got, because I don't want no 1 minute man. Woo! Baby, Sheree said he wasn't really putting, baby, it's been a while. Okay, it's been a long time coming. Once he got in that thing, honey, it was 30 seconds or less. So then in the confessional, Sheree was like, see, the Kenya that I met back in the day, she was evil. But after she had Brooklyn, then, she's actually nice. Well, hopefully Kenya can keep it up, honey, because I love to see it. I love to see all of y'all getting along. I know it ain't going to last too long because this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But for now, I love to see it. So Kenya asking 21 questions, child. And Sheree was like, look, I feel like I'm on the hot seat. Okay, but if y'all want to know, we are practicing abstinence. That was like, what? So in the confessional, everybody's a little bit confused. Like, what you practicing abstinence for? But in my mind, I was thinking, you practicing abstinence. But I don't know if he is, child. He ain't fooling me. So then they go back to Kenya and they start asking her about her divorce from Mark. And she's like, yeah, we're not divorced yet. We did go on a family trip and he doesn't want... Kenya. How much longer, honey? How much longer is this divorce? Like, what do y'all have to figure out? You both love Brooklyn. And write it down on a piece of paper. You come and get her Tuesday and Thursday and take her to... Like, how long is it going to take? Child, Kenya said, I'm going to keep this storyline alive as long as I can. Child, I know that's right. So then Candy starts talking about how her and Todd, they fall into a funk with the sex because they're both tired. And she was like, we turn the TV on, get ready to watch our shows and whatnot, and then... Ooh, child, they done dozed off. Instead of Netflix and chill, honey, they done turned the TV on and fell asleep. Like my mama always say, are you watching the TV or is the TV watching you? So I think the TV is watching them. But Candy needs some sleep. She got 50-11 jobs. She got this. She got the Shy, 3 restaurants, probably still going to the studio and dropping some beats. Ain't no telling what Candy doing. Okay, at any given time, she is coming up with more ways to make money. That's the Taurus in her. All she got time for is food and money. All she really want to see is the money. She don't really need the D. She need the money. Honey, she ain't got time for that. Shout out to Cardi B. Candy said, listen, I'm going to take a nap. Me and Todd, we taking naps, child. But wait a minute, though. Did y'all hear that when Todd said he had an apartment in Jersey? All right now, Marvin. Honey, because they were saying that allegedly. Don't start. So anywho, it's probably not going to be what we think. That's just a side note. So they're talking about her falling asleep and whatnot, honey. She's tired. So then Marlo said, well, what she needs to do is get rid of a few of them jobs and take 2 of those hours and F her man and thank her later. Moving forward. In the next scene, Marlo is at home being the Monty, getting the boys up for school. Let me tell y'all something. This is the first time that I've seen the inside of Marlo's home in this way. You know, she's invited us in before when they had that little tea and they were trying to get Portia and Nene to be friends again. But to actually see her rising and shining and the kids getting up and getting ready for school and her being normal, I loved it. I loved it. So she was telling us that she thought they were going to be with her for the weekend, and it's been 3 years. Child, Marlo making breakfast and whatnot. She done scrambled up some eggs with some spinach and some mushroom, making sure they're healthy with the fruit and whatnot. She said she changed their lives, basically. But she don't want them to forget where they came from. I don't think they're going to forget where they came from. Just keep them humble, honey. Every now and again, take something away, and they'll be all right. I like seeing this side of Marlo, though. I really did. I loved seeing this side of her. In the next scene, we see Drew and Ralph riding around. They getting it on the way to the gym. Ralph, you better not be down in Tampa this season. That's all I'm going to say to you. Side note, Drew is very pretty. She is a very pretty lady. Corny, but she's very pretty. And that has given season 2 checks done cleared. I know that's right, Drew, baby. Drew said y'all will not shame my wigs upon arrival. Because y'all know last season, Drew had that wig on, honey. And LaToya got to attacking. And Kenya got to calling her a stray. And honey, they didn't want her to be friends with Cynthia. It was just a whole mess. So I'm happy to see that Drew has those edges laid down. Okay, going to the gym or not. I hope she don't come across too cringe this season, though, because I'm not in the mood for it. So they get to the gym and they go to meet Sanya Ross and her husband. She's a 4-time gold Olympic sprinter. And let me just say this. I don't know if a lot of people watch this, but she had a show with her and her family, and her sister had like a hair business, and they were showing the ins and outs of their family. It didn't last long, and it was shot in Austin. When I tell y'all I liked that show, and I feel like shows that we actually like, they take them off the air too soon. But now we got over here on Real Housewives of Atlanta, so let's see how this gonna go. But I did like that show that they had. And also, Sanya, baby, them abs. It is giving washboard. Not you still got an Olympic body with a whole baby. Child. Hashtag jealous. So Drew starts speaking on this program that she's a part of. She's the face of a program called Dropping It with Drew. And she said it's just about everyday women that have, you know, their weight fluctuates and whatnot, and them dropping a few pounds. She said she was approached and now it's nationwide. Drew, I'm going to fact check that. Okay, because you got a little line problem. So I'm going to have to fact check it, okay? Nothing against you, but I don't know if that's true or whatnot, because the people saying they don't know nothing about it. And that's what the people saying. So then her and Sanya start working out, right? So they start by doing a little race. Now, why y'all playing in my face, Bravo? Why? Y'all know Sanya's about to smoke Drew. You already know that. So Sanya barely moved and smoked her. When I tell y'all she was moving so effortlessly, just a little light jog. Child, she wasn't even moving. The way that she floated from one end of that gym to the other lets us know that she is the fastest woman ever. And she lets us know that she's the fastest woman to ever run the 400 meters. And she's a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. So baby, the production tried to pipe up and speak their speech. They were like, yeah, and 1 bronze. She was like, oh, I don't talk about the bronze. I know, that's right, child. Don't try to bring me down with no negativity. Honey, you better catch it. You better run down your accolades. So then she said, you know, in her confessional, if I went full speed, I will be on the other side of Atlanta by the time Drew touched that wall. I know that's right. So they doing squats. And she got to spot Drew on the squats and whatnot. So Sonya said, I thought the Pittmans were going to be like a beast in the gym, but how I'm going to drop it with Drew and she can't drop into a squat? Yes, for the shade, honey. Baby, Sanya is coming in hot. When I tell y'all I hollered at that, I didn't think she had that shade in her, because when they had their show, it was so totally different and so family oriented. We didn't see the shady side of her. But baby, she was bringing that shade. Do y'all hear me? So they're both talking. The men over there talking and the women over there talking. So Drew starts saying that Sanya is going to have to be her village because Ralph is up to his old tricks again. Over with Ralph, he talking to Ross and telling him what's going on, right? So he's telling him that he's writing a book, try about reading that, to help men that are becoming stepfathers. And he said he needed an assistant. And all of a sudden, Drew just went off because he wanted an assistant and whatnot. Back over with Drew, she telling Sanya she found messages in his phone about the assistant wanting to give him a massage. I know he don't need assistance with that. Why are you getting a massage from your assistant? So this is the thing. Drew is an actress. So this gotta be a lie. Cause what? Like, what is happening? Last season, the very first episode, y'all were fussing and fighting about him being down in Tampa. This season, the very first episode, the assistant wants to give a massage. It's giving created for a storyline. That's what it's giving to me. Now, I don't know about y'all, but it's giving not true. It just don't seem true to me. So Drew is telling Sanya that she found the messages in his phone and whatnot. So then Sanya said, well, you know what? At the end of the day, you know, he wants you, not his business or her. So Drew told us that after she found the messages, she packed up and went to Chicago. Drew, if you got to go all the way down to Chicago because Ralph is acting up, every time something happens, y'all leave the city, then the two of you might need to think about other arrangements. He get upset, he go down to Tampa in the middle of a panorama. You get upset and you fly down to Chicago. Like, y'all gonna have to get it together. So after Sanya said that about the business, Drew gonna say, well, he did tell me, you know, if push came to shove and he had to choose between his dreams or me, he was gonna choose his dreams. Baby, this is a mess. Like, I would send him back to Tampa with his personal masseuse. Moving forward. In the next scene, Kenya is at the manor with the beautiful Brooklyn. Hey, Brookie. Cooking up some things for her to eat and whatnot, honey. Y'all know Kenya gonna get in that kitchen, honey. She gonna cook that fish. So she cooking up some things, and then she gets this invitation. So then they show like a little montage of all the ladies getting this invitation all at once. So they open up the invitations, and they're courtesy of Marlo, inviting them to her gala. And I was like, not Marlo sitting around this laptop. I'm sorry. I am sorry, honey. I'm with Kenya on this one, child. Like, I thought it would have at least been a Louis Vuitton case or, honey, a bedazzled laptop or something. Not one invitation for all the ladies. And y'all got this woman going around showing this invitation. Oh, honey. Kenya said, you know, just a word of advice. Tell her to step it up next time. She was like, you know, Marlo wants to be so grand, and I'm just not seeing it. It was giving cheap or something like that, she said. But my opinion is this, honey. She could have sent an evite, a text. Because, child, you got this girl going from door to door, honey. But the model was very pretty, though. But Kenya, don't send that message through that model. Child gonna have her losing her job. In the next scene, we visit Sanya, and she's sitting there with her family. She says they've been in ATL for a year, and her parents are there with her as well. So they're sitting down to eat this Chinese food. And her and her husband are so sweet. I really think they are a good couple together, but this is what I'm afraid of. I have not heard any scandals about them. I haven't heard them falling out. I haven't heard anything. Even though they had a short show years ago, I haven't heard anything. I am hoping that they do not fall into the reality TV show curse when it comes to marriages. I'm just hoping, honey, because it ain't looking too good. So then the cute son comes over, Deucey, and he's sitting in her lap, and they're talking about having another baby. He wants a girl, and she's like, I don't know about having no kids. She said last time that almost broke them up because he checked out. Men don't understand how hard it is to have a baby. Like, it's more than a notion. Like, some men want a child, but then they go MIA when it's time to roll up their sleeves. Honey, you're going to have to wake up and get in there and help. And if she says you didn't help last time, you sure ain't going to help this time. It's giving Robin, Dixon, and Juan. Juan wants a girl, but Robin don't want to have it because last time Juan didn't want to do nothing. So Sanya, I'm telling you this now, honey. Please think it through. Okay, that and this reality show. I'm just saying, child. She says she does want a kid, but she doesn't want to put a strain on their marriage. So he was like, well, have you ever thought about not having one might do the same thing? Okay, so I can already see that this might not be the best move. Child, something don't seem right. Moving forward. In the next scene, Drew and Ralph are having a tasting for their meal prep kits, right? So Sanya and Candy, they show up, and they have to take a wellness shot before entering. And Drew's assistant is extra. Sir, please calm down, honey. Calm it down. So Drew tells them why they're there and whatnot, and how she was body shamed last year. But she starts telling us about what's actually happening with her, right? So she was like, yeah, so I worked out with this one right here, and she is really hard on you in the gym. And so she starts telling them that she had a hysterectomy and a mommy makeover at the same time. And she's like, yeah, but I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks. So Kandi was like, oh, that was fast. She was like, yeah, because of dropping it with Drew. Baby, they showed that picture. Drew, girl, you stay with a lie. When I tell you, when they showed that picture, I hollered, y'all. Sanya gonna say, I just feel like, she's not keeping it real. Like, she's not keeping it 100 with us. Girl, just say she lying, honey. Drew got a little lying problem, and she ain't fooling me. So Kandi was like, well, honey, you still thick. Kandi is a mess. So then, as they were talking about the working out with Sanya and whatnot, Sanya was like, well, I have to bring this up because you did say something, and I got to circle back to it one time for the one time. So they started talking about the lady wanted to give Ralph a massage. So Kandi said, please, I know that's right. She said, you know what? Sometimes we think that we're tripping, but no, you're not about to massage my man. So Drew said, yeah, but he told me he fired her. Girl, that man ain't a bit more fired her than the man in the moon, if this is real, okay? I fired her is the equivalent of, oh, no, I blocked her on Instagram. I don't even follow her no more. Okay. So Drew was like, yeah, and I see her name pop up from time to time. Well, then she's not fired. So, baby, in walks Ralph. Because y'all know he got them cameras. Y'all remember when he said he had them cameras in the house and he uses them to watch them. Y'all remember that? So Kandi was like, dang, were you eavesdropping? And was, honey, watching them cameras every step of the way. So Sanya is telling him that if Drew is uncomfortable, then it's a no-go. Like, the heifer got to go. So he starts giving some BS excuse about his back and my neck, my back, and all this other kind of stuff. Shout out to Kaya. I'm like, boy, ain't nothing wrong with your back. And even if something is wrong with it, you have the coins to go and get it fixed. I don't want to hear it. Ralph, stay playing crazy. That's what really irks me about him. Stop playing like you don't know exactly what you're doing wrong. It's really getting on my nerves. Child, I forgot how much I disliked him. So Kandi is like, hell no. If you tell her, because he was saying that he responded to her by saying, I'm a guy. So Kandi said, if you tell her you're a guy, that's telling her that maybe it could go down. And that's true. He ain't stupid, child. He know what it mean, and that's why he said it. Drew, you might want to rethink this show, okay, as well, before people start digging up Ralph's dirt. Now, I don't know if y'all doing this for a storyline and whatnot, but whatever you're doing it for, trust and believe that you will be all in the blogs, and they will be digging deep. This is your second season, so you ain't going to just come on here with your little shoe and your boot brace on and start talking about people and the pastors and the prophets. You're going to have to really work, and they going to work at finding all your dirt. Moving forward. So he's starting another season with yet another mess. Kandi is like, so what's her name? He gonna say the assistant. She said, no, she must be going by a nickname or something. He said, yeah, like your nickname, Kandi. She said, actually, that's my real name. And you know what? Back in the day, I used to think that was short for Candace or whatever, but it actually is her real name. Drew, all I'm gonna say, honey, I'm speaking directly to you, Drew. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Ralph cannot be trusted. In the next scene, Marlo gets to the event to get all dolled up, honey, to get ready for it and whatnot. And she's doing the event to get like a little buzz going about her business. It looks like a beautiful showroom to me. That's what it was looking like. But then y'all know what I noticed? I think this is where they shoot the reunions. Because I was looking at those columns when they were inside. And it looks like where they do the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunions. But I'm not sure. So anyway, the ladies start to arrive. People are looking crazy, honey, trying to figure out what I was doing. And Sanya trying to figure out, has she worn the things or not? And child, we don't know, honey. Everybody trying to figure out what's happening. It's giving, who has a fashion show with no fashions? Except there are fashions, but no models. So Drew introduces herself to Sheree along with Ralph. And she goes, oh, I finally get to meet you. I heard so much about you. He said, only good things, I hope. Here goes Sheree. Yes. Baby, Sheree is Shady Boots, honey. And OG, Shady Boots. So they're waiting on Kenya to arrive. And so Kandi tells them that she was a little bit down because she got cut on Dancing with the Stars. And I must say this. Kenya did an awesome job on Dancing with the Stars. I didn't even think she had that in her. I didn't think she was a dancer. But she did really, really good. So, baby, Kenya showed up looking stunning. Do y'all hear me? She shut it down. She looked wonderful. She came in, honey, immediately looking for food. And she was like, I thought they were serving dinner. Like, who rents a ballroom with no ball? How dreadful. Shout out to Dwight, honey. Shout out to Dwight. That Kenya cannot help herself. She couldn't wait for the shade. Child, you ain't been in here 5 minutes. She gonna shade somebody if she don't do nothing else. Kenya, don't start that, okay? Because you know what happened last time you busted up on the scene with that band. I'm happy y'all getting along, but don't start that mess. So they all standing around and whatnot talking about why she had the event there. And Kenya said she had it because, it's supposed to be a French theme. She was like, even though she spelled that wrong. So basically, they start going back and forth and there's not supposed to be an E. It's just supposed to be L''archive. Well, this is the Atlanta spelling, okay? You spell it like this down in Atlanta. Archives is not Atlanta. Child, just spell it like that if you want to, honey. Spell it however you want to. So then Sanya gonna say, I mean, girl, if you can't get the name, then you just can't do whatever you want to do. Oh, child, this is a mess. I didn't realize that Sanya had this shade in her. So Drew and Kenya, they go to get drinks, honey, because Drew got to apologize and whatnot because Portia is gone. So now Drew needs a friend. Okay, girl. So she goes over there to apologize to Kenya and they start talking really quick. And Drew just wanted to clear the air. And Kenya was like, listen, if I can come to Marlo's event without my band, then I can make up with Drew. It's really not that serious. So they go and rejoin the group. Marlo finally emerges and she's telling them the history behind every outfit. And Drew was like, can I put it in order for this? Marlo gonna say, are you still in the industry? When was your last gig? Oh my gosh. So she had Drew stumped for a minute, right? But then she said, girl, you can check my IMDb. Check my resume. Girl gone. I ain't did nothing since the game, child. I thought Marlo was serious for a minute and I was just about to say, Marlo, now she trying to support you. So stop being shady. But then she said she was just playing. I was like, oh, okay, child. Because, honey, I ain't know. So then Marlo starts telling us she spent $40,000 on the event. Child, not on this space and some mannequins. The clothes were free. They belong to you. Am I correct? $40,000? You let Greg borrow $10,000? Oh, child, that's a lot of money for that room and the mannequins. Okay, anywho, she spent $40,000, honey. It's her money. Okay, child, she said, I got a peach and I'm going to do what a peach holder does. Get into it. So in the confessional, Candy is like, okay, so Marlo is renting these dresses. I'm 5'3" and Marlo is like 6'10". Child, not giving her Shaq height realness. What? She is not 6'10", Candy. She said, me putting on Marlo's clothes is like Blaze trying to put on one of my dresses. I mean, and is. Those clothes can only fit a specific type of woman, and she has to be a tall, honey. She can never be a small. So they're all talking, and Kenya was like, I wish there would have been like a fashion show, and I just feel like I have a different vision. Kenya, stop. Okay, stop. Because you love a hot box event. Every time you throw something, it'd be hot up in there. So let's just let Marlo have her thing, honey. Now, I do agree that there should have been a fashion show. I think that would have been really cute, but they're already her clothes. So I think she was just trying to showcase what they can get if they like rent from her. I think that's what she was trying to do. Kenya's like, so where are the models? Like, where are the catalogs of things that you have to offer? I just really feel like she missed the mark with marketing. I see her vision, but something for potential renters would have been good as well. So, I mean, I see both sides. Yeah, they could have done a fashion show and she could have had something tangible. Child, it's just the first episode, so let's not start that. So Kenya talking and Sheree taking it all in, baby, because y'all know Sheree has never dropped the Bone Collector title. But this is my thing. So is Sheree going to give us another season of Bone Collecting? Because I want something new. And I don't want that whole love after lockup. I don't want that either. I want something brand new. So Marlo comes out yet again after being announced. And the dress is a no for me, big dog. It's a no. It wasn't very flattering. I feel like she could have done something a little bit different. So here goes Sheree. What does Marlo have on? That looks like one of them candies my grandma used to give me to stay quiet in church. It is giving, pass this down, pass this down. That's exactly what it's giving, child. I can smell and hear those candies through the TV. When I tell y'all, every Southern grandma had some of them in the bottom of her purse. They will be 45 years old. But you knew if you want a little something sweet in the middle of a church sermon, because you know that was going to be 45 hours long, your grandma was going to have one of them strawberry candies. And baby, I hollered. So Marlo gives us a speech about L'Archive, but it was mostly about how she gets her money. And Kenya basically called her an escort. I'm like, oh my God, Kenya. Okay, you started it now, but she don't know you started it. But you are taking the first digs. So she said Marlo goes on dates and gets paid for her company. She said, I'm not saying sex, but she does go on dates and she gets paid, allegedly. Moving forward. Kenya and Candy over there being shady, honey, and I see light-skinned Keisha in the building. Now, online, they were making it seem like light-skinned Keisha was going to be a part of the cast. She literally was in the background for like 2.2 seconds. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. So Marlo is mingling, and Sheree and Sanya, baby, they get up to go over to talk to Marlo. And what they do that for? Sanya couldn't wait to tell what the lady said. Baby, Sanya trying to earn that peach. Do y'all hear me? And she said, I'm going to keep my peach. So Marlo said, well, this is Paris, and it's like this. It's quiet. It's like a museum. She's like, I'm not shocked they don't know about it. They don't know fashions. So Sheree said, oh, child, Kenya want to know where you got it from, how you got it, where you getting your money from. I personally don't care how you get your money unless you borrowing from me, because then I'm going to need to know when I'm getting my money back. Other than that, I don't care how you getting your money. So Marlo is like, that's okay, because she knew money. Like, you were in a hotel with a white refrigerator. Oh, not a white refrigerator. Oh, girl, put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home. So, baby, then they flash back to the white refrigerator. But, they couldn't put too much in it, honey, because Nene acting a fool on them Bravo streets. So they couldn't really put too much Nene likeness up and through this episode. So Marlo was like, yeah, they ain't, I love Kenya, but she's never going to support me. She's never going to be happy for me. But no matter what, she's a has-been, okay? And she needs to get her house pressure washed. I feel like I heard that read before. I really do. Anyway, I feel like it's oddly specific. I know where I heard that read before. Married to Medicine. Baby, they told Dr. Heavenly that she needed to get that home pressure washed over on the Twitter, and it was a whole fool, child. That's where that came from. Shout out to Married to Medicine. I wish they would have just let her enjoy her event, honey. Leave her alone. Like, if it's not up to your liking, that is okay. But just support each other and shut up. But I mean, it's the housewives, so I expect that. So Candy brings up the assistant because they're sitting down talking. And she was like, oh, well, girl, I found her on Instagram. Now, this is the first time I really done seen you get real messy now, pulling out the receipts and whatnot. Now Candy got a receipt. So Candy reads this post, and it seems like it's a subliminal at Drew. Here go, Drew. Do you think that's directed towards me? Yeah, girl, absolutely. You and your man. So Candy is going over what was said, right? So, baby, here comes Marlo. She's going over there, and she's pissed. So she's directing all the heat at Kenya, and Kenya is confused as to why. But quiet as it's kept, they were all making comments. So the whole crew needs some smoke. Not just Kenya. Like, we got to be fair, y'all. Kenya was not the only one speaking. So Candy said everybody said something. So then Drew pipes up. Marlo gonna say, I wouldn't expect you to understand. Marlo said, I'm just talking about the money girls, the girls who are well-traveled. Child, not you shading her, honey. Shading the mess out of Drew. Baby, she better than me. Because I would have went all the way off, okay? Don't count my pockets or my passport. Honey, you don't know me. Girl, talk about I ain't traveled. I mean, we know Drew ain't been nowhere. But still, you don't say it to her face. So Sanya starts trying to explain. Girl, you went over there and got messy and omitted that you were saying something as well. I think the only person that didn't say something out loud was Sheree. Because Sheree ain't stupid, honey. She don't say things on camera because she want to be able to tote the bones. So Sanya starts trying to explain, and Marlo gets up and discovers that Drew has a French roll. Candy says, she just said you got a French roll. She said, I ain't had a French roll in 50 years. Marlo, you're only in your 40s, honey. Let me tell y'all something. French rolls used to be everything to me. And I do mean everything. I always wanted one, but my mom was like, that's too grown. You don't need no French roll. That's too grown. So Drew gonna say, well, you said it was a gala, heifer. Like, I get a French roll for the gala. Child, I'm hollering. Marlo picking on Drew. Marlo, stop picking on that girl at this point, honey. Like, I know she's an easy target, but my goodness. Child. So Marlo said, well, tell me what all y'all said so I can read y'all. So Kenya gonna say, oh, well, you got to learn how to read first. Was that a read? I don't feel read. Honey, I know that's right. Marlo steady cussing. And Kenya said, well, in her confessional, girl, pipe down, save your money for a new FedEx label to ship your used clothes over to eBay. So then they show us a picture of La Bay by Marlo. Not La Bay by Marlo. Kenya is the pits, child. When I tell y'all I cackled so hard at that and the visual, I cannot. I hollered so loud. So Candy said, well, I will say what I said. I was just curious to know, like, how do you make money? So Marlo broke down the math, honey, and basically the math was mathing, and it's going to make her some money. So Candy said, listen, in her confessional, she's still talking about that billionaire money, and if she saved all that money, she better at saving money than I am. Because, honey, we know Candy going to make $1 out of 15 cents. Moving forward. So then Marlo goes around the room and she says, Kenya, did you go to a private school? Kenya said no. She said, oh, okay, because you're very intelligent. Candy, did you go to a private school? Because you're very rich. And she said no. And I guess she was trying to like preface the fact that her nephews are in private school, right? This is what I'm thinking. So then she goes to Drew. And Drew said, oh yeah, I went to private and public school. Marlo gonna say, yes, but you're not as successful. Oh my God. All right, now Marlo, cut it out, child. We all know how the world feel about Drew because, you know, she can get cringy and corny and she be lying a little bit. But I don't think she deserved all that. Okay, the girl didn't really do nothing. She ain't did nothing yet. Let's wait till she do something and then we gonna get into it as we get into it. And so Marlo is pissed and she gets up and walks away. And so here goes Sheree. What just happened? Not y'all got it started and then go ask what happened. So everybody cackling, including Kenya, honey, because she don't see nothing wrong with it. And that was the end of the episode. It was just a little lighthearted shade. It was funny. It was cute. It was a cute little premiere, but I think this group may give us something. So let's just see how the season progresses. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Tell me exactly what you thought about episode 1 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, an entirely new cast with a few OGs in the mix. Sheba Sheree, good to see you. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.